as we say hello and welcome to the virtual Chicagoland Speedway here for start of the round of 8 here for the PRS Prestige Cup Series playoffs here once again from Chicagoland Speedway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, the lead producer and commentator for tonight's broadcast here from Juliet, Illinois. Start the round of 8. And definitely going to be interesting to see. Obviously we just came from Kansas. 1.5 miles, we come back here to to Chicagoland. Another very similar 1.5 miles that we see at Kansas. Obviously a little bit more wore out, a little bit different. It's going to be interesting to see how these drivers go about. Obviously, some key features from Chicagoland to Kansas. So we'll go back here on this back straightaway. You look now. There is no straightaway. That's why we call it the back stretch here at Chicagoland, because there is no straightaway here from Chicagoland. If you look at Kansas or Charlotte, this is a straightaway. This is Chicagoland where it's curved the whole way around. I mean, there's no really flat spot here on the track. Even the back stretch has a little bit of an arc to it. We call it the back stretch here from Chicagoland Speedway. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these drivers can navigate through these. Through this, old and age service. Obviously, we talked about it time and time again how the Chicagoland Speedway wasn't on the NASCAR schedule since what 2020-ish, I believe. So, but luckily, next year, actually this year, my apologies, Chicagoland Speedway back on the schedule the first time that these next gen machines in real life will at least get to race here in Juliet, Illinois. So it's going to be super exciting. I'm very looking up towards that 4th of July weekend. Seeing how the racing is here. Obviously, NASCAR was putting a lot of time and energy and money into getting this track up to par here for what we expect here from Chicagoland, and I'm really excited to see how the track has maybe changed, how these next-gen cars in real life will drive here from Chicagoland, because we've never seen a next-gen here in real life yet. Unfortunately, Chicagoland got taken out before the next-gen could ever come here. So, cool to see that back here on the schedule. But let's go ahead and take a look at your race points coming into Chicagoland. Down trackside to look at your favorites here coming in. Obviously, Helms, Wyatt Thompson still has a stranglehold on that top spot here. You see Davis 12 above the cutoff. Nicholas Road, the last driver, currently in to the final 4 here. And then you see everybody else out looking in. Gabriel Goli, 2 points out, as well as Carmelo Cabrera. Max Foley, Joseph Enright, the other 2 drivers outside of the final 4 right now. But obviously, we have 3 races to get there. Obviously, look at Chicagoland here. We're going to the Charlotte Roval, and also Lawrenceville, I believe. We're going to this round of the playoffs. So a lot of opportunities for the drivers behind to pick up supports, at least on Nicholas Road and Noreen Davis. I feel like if Wyatt Thompson and Tyler Helms could come out here and just have a couple of decent runs here, they will lock themselves in for the last round of the playoffs and go race for a championship. Go down trackside to take a look at some of your fastest drivers out on track, and we talked about him earlier. Right now, Max Ford second on the board here. Just under 5 minutes left in practice. So your fastest laps here in practice on the left side of your screen. Now it's Dorian Davis, Max Ford, Tyler Helms, your top 3. Talked about it. Max Ford needs to have a good race here to try to work his way back into contention here to race for a championship. We know Max has the speed. Probably does have a championship talent when it comes to the series, but just hasn't been able to put together, right? I definitely think this 11 team has the speed to get into the final 4. But they need to have a huge round of 8 here. Obviously, when the 8 points out, that's not a huge margin, but obviously as these races count down, we've seen it time and time again in these leagues. there's a decent shot that as we count down the races, start to see the numbers dip a little bit because at the end of the day, if you're not racing for a championship, a lot of mindsets for these drivers is why am I here, right? I'm not going to just show up and race for nothing, right? Outside of a win. If they know they can't win, what's the bother in showing up? I'm not, and I hope that doesn't happen here for the DRS Cup Series, but hopefully we can keep all these drivers in and, you know, continue to improve or just get better finishes here, but never know here as the races count down. Tyler Helms out on track. He's currently P3 on track in that Hosfar inspired scheme. We congratulate Carson Hosfar. First time we've been on the network since he's won at Talladega. Congratulations to Carson, his first career win in the NASCAR Cup Series. No, he was going to win sooner or later. Obviously, it's a little controversial of how he won with how the plate package was, but a win is a win regardless. So people could say it's undeserved or whatever, but it's a win, right? So everybody over here at HVTV congratulates Carson here on his first win for that Aspire 77 machine. So we all know he's got the talent. Definitely got the aggressiveness to go up there and race for win. Finally got it done there at Talladega Super Speedway last week as the Cup Series heads into Texas this Sunday. The first time that Texas will be, we've seen Texas on the 26th schedule. So Carson could be quick there. Carson could go back to back. Tight to see. Been winless his first, what, I think this is his third year in the Cup Series now. Will try to go back to back, see if he can do it. To the 83. Peter Hoppy up at the top 5. Peter was eliminated from the round of 12. Obviously, he missed the race, so kind of de facto eliminated him. Couldn't make a couple races. He's out of the playoffs, but good top 5 run in practice. And speaking of good top 5 run practice, Travis Prather, 58 machine, showing some speed here early. He actually drops back to P5. Actually, P4. I don't know. I can't. Good run by the 58. Hayden Gooley, this new Prime machine, this Chase Elliott fired car. I think it is his car. Obviously, it's just the Hayden Gooley 15 on the side of that machine, but he sits P6. So a really good lap in practice for Hayden. He can take that speed into tonight's race. Colby Duckworth eliminated from last week. He was so close to winning last week from Kansas. Fortunately, a couple mistakes took him out of contention for. Fortunately, out of contention for race for championship here. 3. Roddy back there on your top 10, but practice getting ready to wrap up here. We didn't even talk about him, but Kadori Davis at 87. Right now, currently 12 above the cutoff. He is fastest in practice here from Chicagoland. Did again qualifying here for tonight's race. Ready to get into qualifying here. Get on track. The Duckworth is out on track early. Will be here to start his first time lap. Oh, up at the outside wall. keep it out of the wall here. Across the stripe. And now Nicholas Road clearly on the pole. Bobby Duckworth actually takes the top spot. Tyler Helms out on track. Duckworth. Third league top of the board there, 30.02, but here comes the 3. Tyler Helms to start his first lap. The 3 actually go up there, run the top side here, and 1 and 2. And here in the next one, I feel like you can run the bottom, you can run the top. It's just a preference here. You'll probably see everybody come down here on the bottom side for this hot lap here. By the 3 and 4, he needs to keep it out outside while he does. Oh, he doesn't like that lap. Gonna try to park the car. I assume he probably had to lift out of 4 to keep it out of the wall and didn't like that lap. Granted, I know here in the next gen you can run at least at par of that lap. I've done it before here. Granted, they are using custom sets here. They are using that premier setups here, as they are partnered here with the PRS Cup Series. So maybe he drives a little bit different. Huh? We go. See if he could do something here on this lap. Gonna have to. 47 seconds left in qualifying. Tyler Helms across the board. Top of the board he goes. 29.938. And Norian Davis, Christian Girardi, good lap there. Getting just above the 30s. Like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 drivers deciding not to set a lap here. Chicagoland. Tick down here in qualifying. Obviously, you said practice. Obviously, we're qualifying there. Yeah, these drivers getting their cars for tonight's race. 134 laps here from Chicagoland. Stage on lap 35, 100% fuel, 5 sets of tires total, 1 fast repair. Here we go. Tyler Helms, Norian Davis on that front row alongside Christian Girardi, Colby Duckworth rounding out that row too. Nicholas Road, Hector Collazo in the 45 there outside that third row in row 6. Gabriel Ngoli, Jacob Bryant, Wyatt Thompson and Haingoli at that top 10. Before they on back, Max Ford, Joseph Enright, John Brassard, and Zachary Chavino running out that row 7. Prather Ecavera rounds out row 8. Row 9 will go to Hoppy and Simmons and Stanley. Round out the field here. Back there in P19. Here we go. The cars come off the starting grid here, as you'll see that they follow that virtual pace car. 3, 1, and 2. Tyler Helms, Dwayne Davis, the 2 drivers above the cutoff. Be your front row. Here we go. See them down the backstretch. We'll take a look at your race weather here tonight from Chicagoland. 60-degree air temp. 82-degree track temp, so a little warm here. Track temp here for Chicagoland. 73% humidity with little to no wind. Partly cloudy tonight here from Chicagoland, but still a good race here. Still good track conditions to put on a good race here from Chicagoland. The pace car take a hard left turn on the pit road. And the race over the bar near the flagman. They'll be getting ready to go. 34 laps here to start the round of 8 from Chicagoland. Across the stripe, Tyler Helms will lead your first lap here from Chicagoland. It'll be Tyler Helms, Dwayne Davis, Christian Girardi loose off the bottom side. He's trying to save it. Caution will wave. Oh man, he gets to 95 and Stanley as well. Caution will wave early here for Chicagoland. Girardi, a bump from the 11, a Max Ford. We saw this happen, I believe, last race as well. 15 to goalie gives in the bumper in the 95. Jack Stanley, I don't know if he just didn't see the wreck coming or what, but you see him, huge contact here. Go on board with the 95 to see what he saw through this wreck. That 99 here loose. Yeah. Really not a whole lot Jack could do there. That was just a Roddy just coming down the track. So it looks like Stanley, maybe even the Roddy machine. I have to use that fast spray early here for Chicagoland. A little caution will wave. Caution will wave. Tyler Helms still leads the way. Dwayne Davis back there in P2. Max Ford. Remember, he needed to have a good race tonight. puts himself up at the third place spot after eye contact with him in the 99 Maserati. Now we see drivers by 2 back here for Chicago. Everybody side by side stacked back up here. It'll be the 3 of Helms, the 87 of Davis, Max Ford, Nicholas Rode, Gabriel Gooley, and Wyatt Thompson there, finding out your top 6 here. Speaking of Carson Hostfar, Wyatt Thompson back there running that Chili's machine in honor of that win. Pretty cool to see that. Here we go. Did the pace car take the hard left turn on pit road? The Helms, Davis, Max Ford, your top 3. Back into the restart zone. Back green here from Chicago. Good jump by the 3, but you see 3 wide in the back. Zachary Trevino contact with the 55 of Gooley. I don't think Gooley's very happy with that move. Contact between the 8 and the 55 all the way down the backstretch. Trevino up 9 spots already from where he started. And has sit himself inside the top 5. Max Ford on using that top side to get around to 87. Davis right now, if I'm Davis, just let that 11 go. Beat Helms. Max Ford. And Norian Davis gonna picked it inside here, trying to make something work here on the 11 machine. I can make it work. Now he's gonna have to fend off the 29 and Nicholas Rode here for this P3 position. Comes Trevino, bottom of 3 once again. Oh, Trevino has to back out of it there. Here comes Echeverria on the top. Echeverria up at the outside wall. And then slow his momentum up that much. He might get clear here today. Not quite. The battle for P4, the battle for P5. We look for the battle for the P2 position now. Nicholas Rode using the top side, trying to get around the 11 to Max Ford. Helms up here to the lead. Caution waves. Grekin in the back. Looks like it is Adrian Trevino. Happened to Trevino here in the 8. It looks like not a lot of damage to this machine, but take a look and see what happened here on the HV play. Like the 81 and the 8 battling out here. Ah, it's hard racing there. Man. They just pinching down the 81 here. 81 comes up into the 8. I mean, I don't know. 8 was trying to pinch, but the 81 was also trying to get up. Like two guys just trying to find the same place on the track. Joshua Wave. Joshua Wave once again. Back there. Won an EOL for that. That's tough on a pace car. It's still on the pace car. Lights off on the pace car. Gonna be Tyler Helms. Nicholas Rowe do top row, so your front row, my apologies. And Tyler's led every lap here. But we've seen some drivers drive their way through the field now. Like the 29, up 4 spots. You see, obviously, the 8 had driven itself up through the field a lot, at least. He'll start for the back here, back there at 15th. And Max Floyd up 8 spots as well, so. Stacked up once again, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 to the pace car. Take another hard left down Pay Road. We're starting the race here. The start lap 14. Tyler Helms back to green. Good jump by the 3. Good jump by the 87 of Davis. He'll take the P2 position. He'll battle back there for third on back. Almost 4 wide with the P4 position. Contact between Zerati and the 54, and they wreck again. Zerati around in the grass. I don't think caution will wave. They grin. Thompson working on the outside there to get around his 57 for that P6 position. Go. Here comes the 29 on the 11. Max 4 trying to hold off 29 here for the race for this P3 position. Keeps it for now. Here comes Kenoyan Davis. All over the back end of this 3 machine. Down into 3 and 4. We approach lap 19. '87 back there too. Everybody kind of single file right now. They bound back there. Trevino, he tries to drive his way back to the field. So that puts Trevino back up inside the top 12 is over. John Brassey's really upset in front of him. He'll make the spot up. He'll move up to P11. Kenoyan Davis under attack from the 11. The crossover. Dorian trying to get clear. The 3 is going to get up. Going to force Dorian the lift there with the dirty air. And Dorian Davis takes the lead. Going up to the lead. Now at home back to P2. Max Ford. Sitting back there in P3. 77 is jumping his way up to the field now. He's up to P4. Thompson in that new ride. Get out side by side further back. 58. Taking it bottom of 3 there. Prather trying to make some spots up here in stage 1. Way through side by side with the 55 of goalie. Goalie run the top. 58 on the bottom. Goalie should get the run off the top here to keep the spot. Oh, he's up at the outside wall though. Gets clear. Side by side for that back. Hector Collazo. First time we've said his name all broadcast. Is Hector loose? Up at the outside wall. Caution will wave. He grabs the 48 of Bryant. Man. .45 down here in the 3 and 4. You really can't run this middle line here at Chicago. especially in 3 and 4. Up to 67 as well. Reeve Simmons. That car is killed. So we're approaching the end of stage 1 here. So the 27 lap will start here soon, and I think that's when we'll get the white flag lap. So we're going back green with what, 7 laps to go? There we go, getting ready to take the 1 to green here. It'll be the 87, the 3 up front. And then it'll be the 29 and that 58. Travis Braithwaite up inside the top 4 for the first time. Go. The 87 to 3. Back to green. Seven laps to go. Dorian gets around the 3 there, but not a big gap like we saw with the other restarts here earlier this race. Davis to the bottom. Tyler Helms to the top. Then get back file in line. Nick Crow trying to run down to the 58. I think we had a good restart. Really out of pit road. Side by side for P3. Side by side for the race lead. Here comes Helms. Davis into the outside wall. Here comes the 3 of Helms. Now it's Helms' chance to not make the pass work. Dorian still leads here. Helms with the heave down here in the 1 and 2. Trying to get to the quarter panel. Tyler Helms loose through 1 and 2. Gonna try to get up. Not gonna be able to. He's gonna lose 4, 5, 6 spots here. He'll go back to P5 here. Right there on his outside for the P5 slot. Wow, what a turn of events there. Nicholas showed up to P3. He tries to battle it out between him and Ada. Trevino up at the top 4 once again after that big slide. Now looking under the 29. Gonna clear. Oh man, Nicholas showed up at the outside wall hard. Allow Tyler Helms to capitalize once again. Will put himself in the pass 4. Gonna look 3 wide here in the 1 and 2. Right through road up the track contact. Guys using each other up here for these stage points. Road needs points, so Price, he just lifting and letting people go. Is the 77 up in the outside wall. Wyatt Thompson, hard hit up the outside wall there in the 77 machine. Joshua will wave here. Now we'll end your stage. Max Ford takes it. We didn't even get to see the pass for the lead because they were balanced so far up front. So hard. We'll go back here to the 29. On time between him and the 58. Again. Road just getting used up here these last couple laps. Karate up top. So he's middle 3. Road trying to lift, gets loose, gets up into the 77, and in the 77 to Thompson. Tries to correct it, overcorrects up into the outside wall. The end of stage 1. Stage 1 complete. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here. Be right back to start stage 2 right after this.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Welcome you back to Chicagoland Speedway. We just got done with stage one. Max Ford needed the stage points to get himself back into playoff contention, championship contention. He went stage one over the 87 and Dorian Davis. Like that. Stage one complete. We get ready to start stage two from Chicagoland to start the round of 8. Just like that. Pace guard, hard left down the pit road. Max Ford. Zachary Trevino, Tyler Helms. Back to green. Max Ford, pretty good jump on the restart. Trevino, though, really good start on the bottom here. He's going to be side by side with the 11 and Max Ford. Contact with him in a DHL machine. Here down into 1 and 2. He down into 3 and 4. Bottom for the 8, top for the 11. Better rotation on the bottom for the 8. Better exit for the 11. Still side by side here for the race lead. This is the tale of two stories here. Max Ford trying to get his way into the playoffs. Zachary Trevino not racing full time, just racing for wins. As you see everybody up at the outside wall. Max Ford takes the race lead. So Trevino back to P2. Tyler Helms third. You're happy. Up to P5. Really good run by him and his whole Hive team. Look at that. Peter Hoppy up inside the top 4. Duckworth. Side by side in the back here, trying to get around to 95. Max Stanley, you see a little bit of damage to the 33 of Duckworth there, 900 cars machine. And just getting out of the way there. A lot of damage to the 33. Going back, a little battle here. Stepping on back to 67, trying to hold on. Here comes the 58, Prather. Trying to make the spot. Got the spot at the line, but gonna have to try to complete the pass here through 1 and 2. Side by side, 67 to Simmons, run off the top. Reeves. Spot here, he keeps on. Peter Hoppy. He's using this top side right now. I wonder how long this is going to last here before maybe the tire wear starts to come into play here. Hoppy up top. Davis on the bottom. You see Helms kind of in that middle bottom lane. Here we go. Battle for the lead. The 8 has not let the 11 get away. Davino trying to get back to the 11, but unfortunately with the dirty air the way it is, it's going to be hard for him to get back into a spot to pass for the lead. Close there. I just think with the dirty air, it's going to be hard for once again the 8 to get back. I don't want it to. He's going to get the benefit of the draft down the straight to help him keep up, but the only way he's gonna find a way around is by moving around. The 11 a little bit tight on exit there, had to lift. Those little things is what's going to help the 8 try to keep up, and that's the only thing you kind of can do right now. Try to save tire just a little bit more than the 11. Hope for it to go green here. Hope that Max burns his stuff up and will allow you to pounce if he makes a mistake. And I like to see out of the 8 is he's keeping it a little bit lower in the 11. It's giving him just that little bit of cleaner air on the exit to keep that car rotated. Getting the draft down the straights to keep him within check here of this 11. It's going to be hard to make this pass work unless he can get to the bottom. Get a little bit of a stride draft or something on this 11 machine. They really haven't pulled away from anybody. So now look at Tyler Helms. Tyler Helms, Peter Hoppy, Dorian Davis, they're all within a second of these front two. Now look at that. You see now top 5 under a blanket, all kind of fully spread out to a point. On the 8 of Trevino. But he's going to have to whip around if he wants to find a way around this 11. Runs the top there, 3 and 4. That should help him get a good run down the back stretch. The front stretch, my apologies. He's right there within a 10th. See now Max Ford trying to react to that lane. Look up in front of the 8, try to give some dirty air, but here comes the 8 with the run. Side by side down the back stretch. 8 on the bottom, 11 on the top. The 11 of Max Ford loose. He saves it. He does not save it. Caution wave. Saw that panic and insinuate there in the 11. Saw the 8 get to the bottom in the 11, just like you saw with Tyler Helms. Gets up into that higher lane, trying to drive it down into the corner. It's loose on the top side. Caution wave. See the 8 get to the bottom. Max just has to try to drive it in. You're right there through that mid corner. You see him lose the nose. On the apron, I thought he was going to keep it straight, but no. Grabs kind of the seam between the track and the apron. Puts it out here on the aprons. Caution will late here on lap 55. We ran about 18 laps here on tires. I'm interested to see, you know, who I ain't want to come down pit road here, or if everybody's gonna try to stay out outside. Maybe the 11 machine. No, here comes the whole field down pit side for the most part. So Zachary Trevino wins the race off pit road. Peter Hoppy, Steve Simmons, John Brasser, Jack Stanley stay out here on these 19, now 20 lap old tires. Go. So we ran into one again. About, I would say 16 laps. Saw the direct lead ensue when the race for the lead started. Caution comes out. Top four stay out. Davis, Tyler Helms, the first guys on tires back there. 5th and 6th. About 67. Peter Hop, Reeve Simmons, and 83 Peter Hoppies. We get ready to go back green. Good jump by the top two. Trevino up to P2. Oh, Tyler Helms up into the 99. Body, top side. Alpha P2. Takes the P2 spot over Hoppy and try to run down to 8. Guys are both on new tires. And now I'm back. Roddy trying to hold on. Tyler Helms putting the pressure on. up, we get to the quarter panel. He'll push the 99 down the front stretch. The quarter panel this time. They're going to look top of the 99 here through the backstretch. Side by side, he'll make the pass work. Helms up to P4. Juliet falls back to P5, and he's got Max Ford all over his back end again. This happened the last time these two were together. Thought the 11 was gonna get there a little bit quicker, but no. Hoping that worked. Go. It's 83. Hoppy. Down these oldie tires trying to hold on. Helms and Wyatt Thompson slowing the back. Now Wyatt loose out of 4 again. Saves it. I was way behind the back here. He's all the way back there in 14. Out to the lead here. Starting to pull away. Half a second away. 87 to Davis. Fourth gap closing here to Trevino though. Davis trying to hold on, but especially with Chicagoland, very drafty style track, kind of like you look at Vegas, right? It's kind of hard to get away unless we get a longer green flag run to let the tires kind of start to come into play. Back, everybody kind of single file. No one really trying to battle it out for position right now. I think close is just 83 trying to hold on. The 11 and Max Ford trying to make the spot up. Hoppy on the top. Max Ford on the bottom. Max Ford up to the P4 position with those fresher tires. But gotta give props to Peter here. He's the furthest car up on these older tires. Everybody else has dropped outside of the top 10. Reeves, Brassard, all outside the top 10 already. He's holding tough right now back there in P6. Max Ford, though, even though he's trying to get around these guys, he's got a little bit of a gap to the cars in front of him. Look on the nose cam there. The front three right there. I mean, they're still right there, but it's about a second and a half at front. Mr. Roddy. Into the outside of the 11. Gonna get a decent run out of 4 side by side here for the P4 position. Girardi trying to take it away. I don't think Girardi's going to give Max the benefit of the doubt after what happened earlier this race. I don't think Max is going to give the 99 the benefit of the doubt. Remember, Max is trying to race to get in to the chase. He's coming here 8 points out. Girardi was thrown off the top. Side draft by the 11. Side by side at the line to get to the 11. Hard racing here for P4. Oh, a little bit of contact from the 11 and a 99. Max had enough. He said, I'm going to use you up to keep the spot. Fish is going to have to go back on the charge. Here we go. Tyler Helms around 87. Trevino trying to negotiate around the lap car of the 95. Jack Stanley. Oh, is the 95 loose? Out of the quarter. We'll get it back on track. Tyler Helms, can he run down the 8? Going on the top, trying to make this spot back up, trying to make up some time. Caution. Girardi, slow. What happened to the Girardi machine? Oh man, contact with the 33. Girardi loose on the top. Keeps it straight. I mean, maybe him being slow on the track is why JJ Moore decided to throw that one, but definitely Someone I want to look at is Peter Hoppy. I mean, he was able to leave a set there. They in the top 6. He's out here. 25 lap old tires. We saw this experiment, you know, this last run, and only one car was able to keep up there. Cavino, Helms, Davis, and Ford will be your first 4 drivers out of pit road. You'll see 2 by 2 lights off on the pace car. We'll be going green this time by. So at lap 83. We approach 50 to go. Gonna be the 15 to Hayden Goalie who's gonna lead us to green. We're slowing the field up a lot here compared to the pace car. And Hayden definitely leads green here, but backing up the field a lot. Gonna be Hayden Goalie, Zachary Trevino. Back in the restart zone, back green. And on the bottom, I'm on the top. Here we go, the 87 down to the bottom. He's gonna drive it in. Contact with him, the aim machine for the lead. Tyler Helms to the lead. Caution. Hector Trevino around again. Middle lane loose. We saw this again. Seen this time and time again. Gets to 67, gets to 55. Maybe got the 48 there. Can't use that middle high lane here at Chicagoland. We've seen it time and time again. Josh on a wave. Still. Still on. There he goes. He finally parks that thing. Josh will leave once again here. We'll be under 50 to go here from Chicagoland. Start the round of 8. Two by two. Lights off at a pace car once again. Davis. Helms. Here we go. 2 by 2 once again. It's going to be the 387. Down pit road. Once again goes the pace car. We're going back to green with 46 to go. Davis back to the stripe. Side by side for the race lead. Kenori Davis on the top. Tyler Helms down there on the bottom. Contact between the two race leaders. I might allow Max Ford to get into the picture here. Either of these two could clear each other. Dorian top. Helms bottom. Ford pursuit here. Tyler Helms driving it in deep into the corner here. Side by side, 3 wide almost for the race lead. No. Max Ford backside. Tyler Helms still trying to make the pass work here in the 1 and 2. The heave out of 2. Gonna get clear. He's gonna wall the 87. Comes the 11 of Max Ford underneath the 3. Ryan Davis, bottom of 3 wide here for the race lead. Wasn't a fan of getting walled. He said, I'm going to go back and take it the hard way. Bottom of 3. Max Ford's going to get clear. He'll take your race lead away here out of 2. Max Ford will lead. Tyler Helms, Dorian Davis back to P3. Wyatt Thompson up to the P4 position. Wyatt's on used parts right now. Like if he makes a mistake, it's race over for the 77 machine. You know he's not going to push that car. Let's see the 87 get to the top of the 3. Got the wall just a little bit. They'll stay side by side with the number 3 machine back there for P2. But 87 up in the wall again. Seven will get clear the 3. He takes the P2 spot. Will he run down to number 11? Max Ford, I mean, they've been battling out pretty hard behind. If I'm him, I'm going to just save a little bit of my stuff here. Now you're going to have to make that 87, use that top to get back to you. Tyler Helms is going to have to come up with something to get back to the 87 if he wants a shot to get to you, right? So get the dirty air where you need to. Try to maintain the race lead here. And this 11 needs to have an A+ race here to route his championship back in order. Max Ford out to a lead. A little battle for the arm back. Will be Duckworth. Gonna make the move on the 77. Now, Wyatt Thompson has been, historically really quick here at the mile and a half. And, I mean, he's still a top 5 driver, but I expected him to be up here racing for the win. How dominant he's been in the past here at the mile and a half. Duckworth makes the move to get around to 77 to Thompson. He'll fall back to the P5 position. I feel like Wyatt, if he wants to, solidify himself back on the top of the rung here, he needs to outrun the 3. You think about it, Tyler Helms won last week. He's been in the top 3 all race. Wyatt Thompson nowhere to be found here in the top 3 most of the race. I think, Tyler passed the torch over to Wyatt when he was on that winning streak. And now it looks like Tyler, maybe he's taking that torch back, right? At least for now, won last week. Trying to go 2 for 2. Trying to battle this 87 once again here for the P2 position. Tyler Helms under pressure here from the 33 of Colby Duckworth. Duckworth eliminated from the playoffs last week. He had to basically win to lock himself into the playoffs next round. So close. He led a lot of laps last week. Couldn't seal the deal though. Made a couple of mistakes down there. Missed his box during green flag pit stops. I believe it was during a pit stop. I believe it was during the green flag pit stops, and kind of slowly derailed his race. It's gonna be a what if story for this 33 man. Really well at these mile and a halves, and have driven his way up inside the top 4. With 32 to go. Be interesting. See how Colby approaches the rest of this. Obviously not racing for a championship, but got some pace, especially at these mile and a half tracks. Putting pressure on the 87. Davis trying to fall back a little bit here. A little bit of it having to do with Kenorin using on that top to try to make up some time, and he did make up some time. Guess what? He passed the 3, the 3 got it back. Now you see the 33 putting the pressure on Kenorin. And right behind, the 33 Duckworth is the 77. Kenorin's teammate. To hold on here for a podium spot. Colby wants this as well. Wyatt needs this, right? He's still in a pretty fierce battle with that 3 for the top of the charts there for points wise. Obviously, they're a little bit in a better spot when it comes to points versus the other 2. Lawrence plus 12, and then Nicholas Road, he plus 2. Right? And Nicholas Road out early. That's definitely going to drop him outside of this playoff bubble, especially with Max Ford winning the stage. Caution. Goalie stopped here right outside the restart zone. Caution will wave here with 28 to go. Kind of changes a lot. But yeah, the ring gets loose. Out of 3 and 4, trying to save it. Finally gets up in the outside wall and then just kind of perpendicular to the racetrack there. Cars coming. Definitely had to get thrown there. So caution will wave here. 27 to go. This was by far the longest run of the race here. Let's go ahead and talk to Colby Duckworth in the 33 to see what his opinion on the race has been. Hey, Colby, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, not I would say the best start of the race for you, but you've slowly worked your way up through the top 5. Now when sitting in P4, was trying to get around that 87. The caution comes out now. 27 to go. What's kind of the plan? What's the mindset here? These last 25 laps.
Just get some fresh tires and let her rip. That's about all we can do. Just stay in clean air. Hopefully have somewhat of good pace towards the end. So.
And for you, we've seen you have this long run pace throughout really a lot of these mile-and-a-half tracks. Are you wanting to stay green, or do you want a couple of restarts to maybe get you back up to maybe take advantage of, these restarts to get a couple spots here and there?
I think if we stay green here, I think I'd be okay with it. I've been doing pretty good with the long run stuff, so hopefully we can get a long run here.
Obviously 25, not a ton of laps to go. Do you think there will still be a little bit of tire wear, or is it just going to be, full bore, let's go push as hard as we can here towards the end?
There'll be some tire wear for sure, but I don't know how much. I mean, this track's kind of eating them up pretty good. That run there was my best run of saving tires, and I was holding pace with the top 3, so I mean, I feel good about it.
You're definitely looking good. And one last question before we let you go. Obviously, we've seen a lot of the cautions tonight come out of that turn 2, turn 4. When people went in that second groove, is there just not a lot of grip there? Is it the setup that you guys are running here tonight that's just making it kind of hard to run in that middle lane versus the top and bottom?
I think it's the seam between the bottom lane and the second lane. If you catch that seam wrong, it'll just make your rear end have a 0 grip. So I'm not the only one that happened to. I think 3 or 4 of us has done it, and I was listening in the BC earlier and they were talking about it. So, but I've been trying to be pretty cautious of it here on these long runs, especially when the tires are worn out.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what you and this whole 33 team can do. The 25 lap dash, you obviously starting P8. We wish you good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we can talk to you maybe up here in Victory Lane.
Alrighty, I appreciate it, guys.
Colby Duckworth, we appreciate him taking some time out of his day to talk to us here. And he's obviously so close to making it in the next round of the playoffs. Needed to win. I felt like race-winning pace at Kansas. Led quite a few laps last week at Kansas, but couldn't put the pieces together to win there. Unfortunately, he came out of Kansas 6 points behind the cutoff. So not going to be able to race for a championship this season. Obviously, we went from 12 cars now down to 8 cars. To talk about 3 cars stayed out here. They ran 30 laps on these tires, so that's going to be your 2 race leaders, Prather and Zerati. Joseph Finright at 57 also stayed out, so it's going to be Tyler Helms, the lone car on that top side with the fresher tires, and it's going to be Max Ford, Canoy, Davis, Wyatt Thompson, and everybody else further on back with those fresh Goodyear Eagles. But it's going to be the 3 first cars leading us back to green. Have an equal start out of the top and middle lane here. Girardi trying to get to the outside of this 58. He will. So side by side for the race lead down the backstretch. Now how long can these guys hold on before these fresh tires come up and start to make some moves here? We saw the 11 trying to make that top side work up in that outside wall. Now here comes middle, bottom of 3 there for the P3 position. Max Ford, aggressive here. Remember, he needs to get as many points as he can to point his way into the chase there as he drives it into the 1 and 2, up into the outside wall out of 2. And so is Durati. So here comes Prather. Contact for the race lead here down the backstretch. Tyler Helms with the contact, going to try to take advantage here to put that car right in the middle line there. Kind of making it an attempt there to get around to 99 as Durati. It's around a 99 now. What can he do to get around Prather? In the 58, he's going to run this top side. Then I'm going to run the top. Max Ford said, I'm just going to go underneath the 58. Now, Doring for the race lead down the backstretch once again. Max Ford on the bottom going to try to take advantage. Max Ford will clear the 58, take the race lead. The first car on fresh tires to get around these older tires. On line, Tyler Helms going to try to make it middle 3 here in 1 and 2. We'll see if he can make it stick. This has been the problem spot for these drivers running that middle lane, but looks like Tyler Helms will get clear. Everybody into the outside wall. So forward Helms gets clear here early. Thompson trying to make this outside groove work to get around the 58 of Prather. Trying to hold tough there in that P3 position. Duckworth underneath now, bottom of 3. What a good job by Duckworth to get around and navigate around the slower tires. Remember, he started all the way back at P9, up to P3 early here with 20 to go. That's the gap for the front 2 drivers there. The issue with Colby right now is that he can't really sit back and save a whole lot. He's got the 77 of Thompson within striking distance if he backs up a little bit. The issue is I don't know if anybody can get to the 11. Max Ford has shown Race winning pace all race long. Like Tyler Helms is doing what I suggested that the 33 might do. Like he might be backing up a little bit. Good day for Helms. Pretty good day for Tyler. Lowest to 7th. Obviously, we saw him lead quite a few laps tonight. Davis is in that top side once again. Oh, contact with him in 81. There's Echeverria going to take the spot there. He'll take the P5 position. Man, losing spots here. Stop the bleeding. Comes at 58. Right there with the older tires are trying to make a spot here. Really likes the stop side. Unfortunately, it's just not the line if you're trying to save tires. Nice. We're back up front about half a second. Got back to the 3 at Helms. I don't know if Tyler's trying to save a little bit with 15 to go. Or maybe he's just already, you know, giving up. Remember, you know, Max and Tyler are teammates. Colby Duckworth are teammates back there as well. I think, you know, I wouldn't say Tyler's going to give him the win, but obviously they want to have as many cars here in the Final Four to kind of dictate who gets the championship as probably as possible. Duckworth, around the 3. Maybe Tyler did juice his stuff up. I don't see him giving up a spot here. Smoke here on the front stretch. Duckworth have anything but 11. Someone stopped there. That's Hayden Foley. They called the night early. Back at the last lap time. Last lap time is up with a 3.8. This is a 4.1 for the 11 of Max Ford. Duckworth is continuing to close the gap. Ooh, gonna have to lift there. Oh, Max get away just a little bit. Gotta be disciplined here. Getting in that kind of around that dirty area spot. Oh man. When you got a rebound here, move around, try to, because that's where you're really starting to feel that dirty areas around that 6, 7, 8, 10s mark. Duckworth not being able to catch the 11. The 11 blinks. Max Ford blinking back into session. Hope he's got to figure something out here with 8 to go if he wants a chance to go race for this win. And it's 2 stories right now. Max Ford trying to win his way into the next round, but also blinking. Colby Duckworth trying to race for his first win of the season. Tyler Helms, Wyatt Thompson, getting ready to battle it out here for the P3 spot. And what a recovery for Wyatt, right? We talked about how he really hasn't had he hasn't had the best car of the field. Super loose side of 2. Has put himself in the spot to potentially battle it out with the 3 for this podium spot. Have a really good run off the 3 and 4 run at the top side. Simmons pushing with everything he's got to get back to the 3. Obviously, this won't be enough to like get him to jump the 3, but he's gonna close the gap if he can, make the pass work. Colby Duckworth though started to pick up a little bit of time over the 11. Unfortunately, with 5 laps to go, I don't think even if he is a little bit quicker, there's not gonna be enough time. He needs to be about 0.2 of a second quicker a lap. I don't see that out of the 33. It's actually slower that lap. 30.3 or 30.5. So he was 0.2 slower. This is faster now. I think he's gonna need to see a mistake out of the 11 of Max Ford. Go and try to race for his first win of the season. So they're on back. Tyler Helms, Wyatt Thompson, still duking it out here for this podium spot. Three to go from Chicagoland. Push with Wyatt, driving it in like that, giving up exit speed is not how you're going to make the pass. You're Wyatt, you have to worry about exits. Don't even care about entry. You need to be quicker, faster on these exits to get, try to side by side on through the backstretch, through the front stretch if you want to make a move here. Is it 2 to go for Max Ford? That's what you want to see out of the 7-7. Gain a little bit of time. We exit the penultimate lap. We'll take the white flag here for Max Ford and number 11 machine. Max Ford takes the white flag. Tyler Helms trying to hold on to P3. I don't think Thompson's going to have enough of a run to get there. Coming out of turn 3 and 4 for the final time. His second win of the season. Max Ford, go ahead and give it to him. He's going to win here from Chicagoland. Colby Duckworth, P2. Tyler Helms will hold off the 77 for P3. Wyatt Thompson will come home in 4th. William Davis back there at P5. So a decent drop to stop the bleeding out of the 87. Remember, just could not keep the car underneath him on the long run. Comes on P5. Second win for this number 11 team, with this 11 team, as he burns it down here on the front stretch. Max Ford across the first stretch. Continue to burn it down. Right here. 56, almost 60 laps led here tonight from Chicagoland. What a way to turn around your chase here. Came into the round of 8, out. And now will come in, most likely in. Only needed was 8 points out. Traded the 29 to Nicholas Road, and Nicholas Road will come home P18 out early here, 97 laps down. But congratulations to Nicholas Road and his whole 11 team. We'll get ready to talk to your top 3 and finish out tonight's broadcast here from Chicagoland after a word from our sponsors here. So we'll be right back after this.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We'll welcome you back here for the post-race show for week number 14 and the first round of the round of 8 here for Chicagoland Speedways. We saw Max Ford outduel the rest of the field and get his second win of the season here, Chicagoland. Let's go ahead and talk to the number 11 machine, Miss Houston, down there in Victory Lane. Hey, Max Ford, is Christian up here in the HVTV booth? You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Your second win of the season here. And most likely going to lock yourself at least above the cutoff here coming out of Chicagoland. So first of all, congratulations on that. Your second win of the season. But, second of all, obviously you had a top 2, top 3 car all night. Built it leading 59 laps here. Chicagoland, walk us through your race. Walk us through what got you up here in the victory lane tonight.
Honestly, I just needed a good race. I haven't had really a good playoff run. Like, I've always been Kansas. I was really good, and I just got screwed over by damage. And that's just summed up our season. I had a bad quality. I haven't really shown pace and quality this season. But besides a couple tracks like Bristol, I think we got there. But start of the race, I was just trying to chill. Somehow, I don't know how, I went from 11th to 4th in one lap. That was a really good sign. And then had an incident with Chris, and I'm going to be honest, I told Chris last week that if he just comes across my nose like that again, it's like I can't do anything. I'm not cutting a brake again. And it happened, but after that, we had a couple runs. I took tires before the stage. Just, I knew I needed points, and this was a great way for me to get those points in stage win and playoff points. And I knew I was going to stay out there. I took fuel at stage. That's it. Came out with the lead, and I knew I need to hold the lead as long as I can. And that's going to it's going to put me in a better situation overall, which it did. And then we got a lucky caution, and I knew overall that I probably had the fastest car, had the best tire saving. Just compared on percentages, couldn't really tell because I never really got a green flag run. But it was me, then Tyler and Kendorian, but we all raced pretty well, pretty respectful up in the front, which was good. But hopefully we can clean up the mess in the back and have a good finish to the season. Green flag runs.
I definitely agree. And walking us through it, there's a couple of times when we got these cautions where felt like every caution we'd have some of these guys stay out on older lap tires, and kind of the leaders would go down and take those fresh Goodyear Eagles. What was it like having to negotiate around some of those guys with the older tires and try to get yourself back to the front?
Well, I mean, I had the experience of staying out with that one time, so I kind of knew how it would feel for them, and obviously a little bit worse for them. But just knowing that this is how it's going to feel if they keep the lead after 3 laps, they're going to probably keep it unless you are fully pushing and just like being aggressive. But I knew Tyler. He took 2 tires. He expected everyone to pit. They didn't, so that actually helped me out. But for some reason, Cash Corp Racing was racing really hard against us, even though being on 26 laps of old tires, and took advantage of that when they're 3 wide or 2 wide with Tyler, and just made the most of it to get around them and secure the lead.
Obviously, down to the end, it came down to a restart. You got the best restart. You won tonight, your second win of the season for that. And obviously, looking into next week for Martinsville and then Roval later on this round, should be coming in with, the unfortunate events of Nicholas Road, coming in, leaving with a P18 finish. That should bump you into the, top 4 in points here. What is kind of the mindset now going to Martinsville and into the Roval with probably most likely a little bit of a cushion to the cutoff?
Honestly, I'm not good at rolls or just any road course besides Watkins Glen. So the goal at Martinsville is just to run clean, get stage points. I'm pretty sure I'll be up there in the top 3, top 5. Just running consistent, just getting a good finish, and then just having a little cushion to the rollable because I know I'll be like a 10th place car, 9th place if everyone else is really good at road courses. So yeah, just gotta execute next weekend.
I definitely agree. Martinsville's going to be a big race for everybody that's still trying to get in to that Final Four to race for a championship this season here. But still, regardless, Max, a good run for you, your second win of the season. So congratulations to you on that. Before I let you go, anybody you want to thank, shout out, I'd appreciate for tonight's win here from Chicagoland.
Honestly, shout out to DHL. Shout out to Dutch Bros. Shout out to the Ford family for allowing me to run Toyota as per usual. Thank you. Also, thank you to Precision and the teammates. Like Tyler, Zach, we're working together there, but they're just a good group of guys, and love to be there for them, get this one for them. But yeah, thanks to Tyler, Zach, Condoin raced me really nice. Wyatt did. Colby helped me out. Um, yeah, just all those guys. They're great.
Definitely a good race for everybody involved. I felt like, but nothing bittersweet than coming home victorious tonight here from Chicagoland. So once again, we appreciate your time up here in the HPTV booth, Max, and wish you good luck for these next 2 races as you try to point yourself to the Final Four.
Yep, thank you.
Max Ford will come home victorious from Chicagoland. Let's go ahead and talk to the bridesmaid once again. Colby Duckworth up here in the booth. Hey Colby, Christian up here in the HPTV booth again. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, P2 here for you and this whole 33 team, but at the end of the day, really a good run for you. And like you said, you wanted to go long. You think you had a good long run car and drove your way up inside the top 3. I think you started what, 9th or 10th there on that restart. Got around some of those guys with the older tires. Drove your way up to a P2 finish. So just walk us through your race tonight. Walk us through what got you up here into this podium position.
Well, the first lap of the race, I hit the wall and had 4 minutes of damage. So for about 60 laps, I rode around with damage, just every caution, just getting a little bit fixed at a time. And then uh, finally got some good track position and got a good caution for me and took tires and noticed I had speed after I got all my damage fixed. So I ended up, I think, drove up to 4th at one point in time and then fell back to 5th, I think. But after that, it was just about track position, just taking tires when I needed them. I didn't even have any sets left at the end of the race. That was my last set I took. on that last caution. But uh, I just I've noticed on the run where I was fourth or whatever, I was maintaining pace with the top three, so it felt good to run up front finally. It just took a long time to get there today.
Definitely a good run for you and this whole 33 team. But, walk us through, obviously, if anybody had to drive their way through the field, it was you tonight. Walk us through the dirty air. Obviously, you were catching Max Ford and you got within, that 6, 7, 8 tenths gap. And it looked like you just kind of stalled out there. Well, how bad or how important is it to, learn how to navigate this dirty air here in this next gen machine?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in clean air, you're not going anywhere. So, uh, I think I actually hit the wall. I think it was like 10 to go when I stopped catching him. I hit the wall, and then that was more of me just trying to push it harder than I needed to just to try to get up to him. But dirty air is terrible. It's terrible everywhere, no matter what track you're at. The only time it don't matter is at Daytona and Talladega, but other than that, it's terrible. But uh, I felt like I was navigating it pretty good. But me and you talked earlier in the race about hitting the seam in turn two, and that was trying to navigate the dirty air, and then you would get loose because you hit the seam. So it was just a lose battle with that situation. But I mean, I feel like I did a decent job today.
Well, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, working your way up to P2 after, you like you said, we mentioned you earlier in the broadcast, out of it there with the damage, able to get it fixed and drive your way through the field up to P2. Definitely, wasn't out of luck. You did that the hard way, getting yourself up to a podium position here. So good run for you. Obviously out of the playoffs, got eliminated last week at Kansas, but looking at the rest of the season here, the rest of the round of 8 and obviously the last couple of races in the round of 4, what's kind of the outlook for this whole 33 team?
Just get some wins. Just keep being consistent. Have good runs. Hopefully, we get some more top threes. Hopefully, I can get a win before the season finishes up. I'd like to at least get one win before the year's over with, but or the season's over with. So we'll just have to see. I just stay patient.
I definitely agree. You've definitely gotten quicker as as the season's gone on, and we've seen, you put together these types of runs before. Almost won Talladega. Almost, in another scenario, could have won tonight. Could have won last week at Kansas, right? With a little bit less mistakes there. So I definitely have my, your number on the bingo card for at the end of the season. I feel one coming for you in this whole 33 team. So we'll just have to see, but once again, another good run for you in this number 33 machine and for Colby, Duckworth Motorsports and all that stuff. But before we let you go tonight, Colby, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, or shout out for tonight's good run here from Chicagoland?
I got to thank Tyler for helping me out in practice. He was kind of coaching me through what I needed to do, and I watched several of his laps just to kind of get an idea of what to do. And then thanks to Max too, because he helped me out a little bit too. So even though he's not a real teammate, but we're buddies. So I got to thank my wife for letting me do this too. Or she would probably kill me if I did this every day. So I try to do it whenever she lets me.
Happy wife, happy life, right? So, um, but it's still a really good run for you out of the 33, and we congratulate you on another good run here from Chicagoland. But we wish you good luck the rest of the season. Go chase that first win. But once again, we appreciate your time up here in the booth, and we wish you good luck the rest of the season.
All right, I appreciate it.
Colby Duckworth comes on P3, and we'll talk to another third place here. We'll talk to Tyler Helms in the 3. Tyler, it's Christian up here in the HBTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, a pretty good race for you in this whole 3 team. I felt like you were, top 2, top 3 car all race long, and you kind of hung out there, lowest to 7th, but, average running position about 3.5 throughout the whole race. But, you know, regardless, a third place finish for you tonight. Walk us through what got you up here tonight.
Yeah, we qualified really good, as, I guess at this point per usual, and just really took some time and practice to figure out the Q lap. And, I like this track a lot in this car. It's pretty good, pretty fun combo. First week that the setup actually kind of drove instead of just did nothing. And, we're coming in 35 points to the good already going into this round, and just needed a solid performance. First stage, felt like saved the tires the best. Got an unlucky yellow, and then lost the rear end off of one of the bumps, like the diffuser, like bottom out or something, and had to save it. Could have had the stage. I probably would have had the stage. I think I could have held off Max if I was able to get to Kendorian. Second stage, just went into tire save mode, and just same story as last week. Needed a long run, and just this week could never get the long run, and finally started to get the long run, and we're reeling in Max slowly but surely with like 35, 30, I think like 35, 40-ish to go, and I think we would have got to him and probably had a solid battle with him. Probably, I think I still would have had him at that point, but as per usual, as it is every week, you can just never go green to the end, and it's always just a crapshoot to the end. And got the yellow, and I remember from AFIX and other leagues that take 2 tires at Chicagoland actually helps the car rotate, because the wear on the lefts, just something with the physics. Don't really know what makes it do that, but it makes the car rotate better. And we put 2 tires on it, and the setup just, I guess it couldn't really handle it or something. It just started rotating all weirdly, where it was like bouncing in the corners to turn to the left, and just was super twitchy. And then after about 15 laps, it just started to plow, and it was pretty much over at that point. So just should have just taken 4 and prayed that we would have got up front. I think we could have had it with 4, and just got unlucky. Expected everybody to come down pit road and not people to stay out with 30 to go on 30 lap old tires as well. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Maybe if we got in the clean air, maybe we would have done something a little bit differently, but we'll take a P3, and sadly we'll move to the Roval next week.
Yeah, obviously looking at the Roval and then Martinsville at the end of this round, I want to talk about you and Wyatt Thompson. Obviously, you two have kind of made yourselves kind of the top 2 guys who we're looking at for this championship, and then really the other 2 are for the other guys there to take. What's the racing like between you two? Obviously, you guys have become, I wouldn't say rivals, but in a sense, you guys are racing around each other a whole lot. You guys are trying to fight for the crown for like who's the guy to beat. What's the racing like between you and that 77?
Well, it's kind of a mix of both. Like, obviously I want to beat him every week. I hate I hate when he wins. He hates when I win. It's one of those things where it's like, to be honest, we both have a little bit of an ego. So it's one of those things where it's like we both think we're we both think we're the best driver in the league, and we're trying to do something that the other can't or anything like that. But it's not like we're not racing each other any differently. It's not like we've butted heads a few times as well, and here in other leagues, but it's not like we're racing each other any different. Like today when we were battling for third or whatever, aero blocked him a couple times, and he tried making a couple moves to get to me. And if it's racing hasn't really changed too much. It's a little bit harder, I would say, around each other, especially for important positions, because we know at any moment one of us can get the lead and just take off and run away with it. And it's just trying to beat him week in and week out. I think I'm the better driver. I think I can win this championship, but he also thinks the exact same way as well. So I wouldn't really say it's anything's changed too drastically, but it's you're gonna always have issues, I guess you could say, with people that you race around more and more and more. Eventually, something's bound to happen. So I guess we're kind of just waiting for that to eventually happen.
Definitely entertaining to you guys battle it out here, because I mean, you two are kind of the 2 guys, trying to battle it out for this championship. It seems like right now, but you best that number 77 this week here. Comes on 4th, you come on 3rd, so a good run for you. Going into the Roval, obviously you talked about not very enthusiastic about the rest of the round here, so it's gonna be interesting to see how you can keep this point lead, or at least maintain it here coming in the next couple of weeks. But still a good finish for you in this whole 3 camp. So before I let you go, Tyler, anybody you want to thank, shout out, or appreciate for another podium finish here, Chicagoland?
Yeah, first I'll say the Roval next week it'll be interesting with the high horsepower at that track with such low grip. But I just want to get to Martinsville. I love Martinsville. It's so much fun. I think I'm gonna win Martinsville. I think I should probably personally I think I should dominate Martinsville, but we'll see. But I'm going to shout out Kobe Duckworth, Nicholas Road, Jackson Brown, all my teammates, Max Ford for, working with me, Zachary Trevino, another precision guy as well, and, Precision Speed Solutions, Alex Murray, DJ, all the guys over there as well. And everything that they do, you get some pretty good setups for pretty cheap, I believe. Hopefully, I don't really know. I don't know the price on it, but it's not too crazy expensive. Shout out you for broadcasting and JJ Moore for race controlling. So we extend our points lead. I think at this point we're probably pretty locked into the final four, coming in 35 to the good, and having another P3 finish. So just gonna look to have a little bit of fun next week. Maybe we can go finish in the top 3 again somehow. And, maybe if Hector and Zach don't show up, maybe we can win. So we'll see what we can do there, and just get to Martinsville as fast as we can.
We appreciate the kind words up here in the booth, and yeah, we'll see what you can do next week at the Roval. But we wish you good luck here that rest of the round of 8 and looking for that championship for. So good luck the rest of these couple races, and we hope to talk to you once here in this top 3 once again.
Yep, thank you.
Tyler Helms will come home P3 tonight here from Chicagoland, and what a race once again. Obviously I can understand why some of the drivers are upset about not being able to keep it going, but at least for me up in the booth, having a restart that kind of dictates, another story inside of another story in the race, right? It definitely was entertaining for me up here in the booth to, get those, those cautions, as long as they're a little bit more spread out. I don't want to see, 9, 10, 11 cautions every race, but I like to see, these cautions that kind of like bring a new narrative to the story of like, okay, we had that caution with what, 25 to go, I would say 27 to go, we went green with 25 to go, right? And it kind of makes the narrative of a good drive through the field. There were some guys who came in, some guys who stayed out. Like the guys who stayed out ended up having to limp those cars with 53 lap tires, right? And it looks like the highest finisher out of those guys was like Girardi back there. He finishes 7th. I have to hang on 53 lap tires. So it was definitely interesting to see all the strategy there, especially because every restart it felt like there was the top 3 guys, but for the most part stayed out on those old tires, and it was fun to see new tires try to take advantage of the old tires, and if they couldn't get there in time, they kind of just had to sit there and wait until the old tires did fall off, and then they could take advantage. So it was definitely interesting to see how the race played out. Once again, another congratulations to Max Ford and that whole 11 team for their 2nd win of the season here, the PRS Cup Series, and that should definitely help them get up inside the top 4 in the standings to try to get into that final 4. I feel like Helms and Thompson kind of have those top 2 spots locked up, and then it's going to be a battle for those last 2 spots there to go race for a championship. But Max Ford did a good job pointing his way into that final 4 at least. Going to have to continue to finish out this round here at the Roval and at Martinsville, but we'll just have to see there. But speaking of the Roval, we go to the Roval next week, so we can't wait to be there and continue the car races here for the PRS Cup Series. But it's going to be interesting to see what they can do next week there from the Charlotte Roval there in Charlotte, North Carolina. But once again, my name was Christian Legato, your lead producer, commentator here for High Velocity TV. We appreciate everybody coming out. If you're new to the channel, we'd appreciate liking the broadcast, sharing the broadcast, and hitting that subscribe button down below, hitting that bell notification. Be notified anytime we go live here on the channel, whether it is over here on High Velocity TV or over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. We appreciate you guys for coming out and watching PRS Cup Series. And once again, you've been watching a High Velocity TV production, the Prestige Cup Series. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Thursday night. See you guys soon. Have a good rest of the night, guys.